Hello guys, welcome to my channel. And this is my third video on indices. So in this video, we are going to solve exam style questions. Now, before we can start this, ensure you've watched my first and second video on loss of indices. So I'll just paste the link to the first and second video in the description below. And remember, if you have any questions, just put them in the comment sections. I'll be glad to respond. Okay. And Roman 1 of the question 21 says x power 0. So based on laws of indices, whenever a number is raised to power 0, it's just 1. Okay, it doesn't matter. It can be 123 power 0. The answer is always 1, or even 1000 power 0. So this is one of the very simplest laws of indices you can master easily. So x to power 0 is just 1. Roman 2 says m power 4 multiply m power 3. So you can see the base numbers here are the same. It's m and m, something like, let's say 7 power 4 multiply 7 power maybe 8. So this is what you call base numbers. So long as you have base numbers being the same, you can just combine them into 1, okay? And then those powers, for the case of multiplication, the powers are added, all right? So in this case, we'll have m to the power of 4 plus 3. Giving us a total of m power 7. That's our final answer to that. In the Roman 3, we have 8p power 6, and the whole bracket raised to power 1 over 3, or if you like, power a third. So now, we just have to ensure that we distribute the 1 over 3 into that bracket. So we have 8 power 1 over 3 multiplied by p power 6, power 1 over 3, okay? Because having 1 over 3 outside the bracket meant that it's for everyone. So what's 8 to power 1 over 3? You can simply type this in your calculator, or whenever you have a fraction power, it simply means it's a root. So that can be treated as a cube root of 8, okay? But still, you can just type 8 power 3, power 1 over 3 in your calculator, and you'll get 2, okay? So 8 power 1 over 3 is 2. Then we have p to the power, we have 6 times 1 over 3. What is 6 times 1 over 3? We'll get 2. So it's a 2p squared. That's our final answer. Okay. Now, number B says 243 raised to power x equals to 3 squared. All right. So now, one of the things you can do is in this math is look for the a way in which you can write 243 with base 3, okay? Like 3 power something to give you 243. Now, which number is that? It has to be 5. That is trial and error method, I guess. So you'll have 3 power 5. Remember, that's 243. And the whole 243 was raised to power x, okay? Then equated to 3 squared. All right. So now once we have this, we can simply open that bracket. When you have powers in the bracket that way, they simply multiply each other. So you'll have 3 power 5x equals to 3 power 2. And at this point, it's very easy. So long as the base numbers are the same, it means the powers must also be the same. So this is what we do. 5x should be the same as 2, okay? Then we solve this algebra. 5 is crossing to the other side. So on the left-hand side, 5 is multiplied with x. So if it crosses the equal sign, it will be divided with the 2. Okay, so it will be 2 divided 5, or 2 over 5. So that's our final answer for part B. All right, let's get some more questions here. Just a minute, clear that. All right. Number 17A, 5 power n equals to 1 over 125. Okay, so now we have 5 power n. That's the simplest we got. So our aim is to make 1 over 125 to have the same base number. All right. So now the first step is to bring 125 up. You know that if a number was at the bottom, you bring it up, we put an inverse sign up there. Okay. It's like you're having 1 over 8. If you want to write it as 8, it will be 8 power negative 1. If it's 1 over 8 squared, You bring it up, it will be 8 to the power of -2. Okay, so that's the simple step that I'm using to write 125, a bit normal for us. And then now we have to ensure we have a common base. Huh? So we have 5 power n. So how do we make 125 to be 5? It has to be 5 power 3. Huh? All right, I'm just checking that on my calculator right now to ensure that 5 power 3 is 125. Yes, it is. So 125 is 5 power 3, and the whole thing was to power -1. Okay, so I'll be having 5 power n, and the right hand side changes to 5 power -3. That is if I open that bracket using those powers. Okay, so base number is the same. That simply means the powers are also the same. So the value of n here is -3. Okay. All right, let's move on. Number B, there is 64 divide m power 3, and the whole thing is to power 1/3 negative. So how do we solve this? Now, first step, we can make it look simple. Okay, that negative power there scares me. Wow. All right, so let's do this. We know that if you have a negative power, it simply means that number was at the bottom. Okay, so the whole 64 out of over m power 3 was at the bottom. Okay, so at this point we have a positive power, +1/3. So in doing this, we have gotten rid of the negative sign. Okay, it's like we are coming from 8 power -2 back to 1/8 power +2. That's what I've basically done in this step. Okay, so the next step is to distribute this power to everyone inside that bracket. So we'll have 64 power 1/3, okay, all over m power 3 power 1/3. Okay, so this is what we're having. And from here, we'll have 1 over, what's the cube root of 64? You can type 64 power 1/3 in your calculator, or you can simply do cube root of 64, because we said if you have a fraction power, that bottom number in the fraction is the root. Okay, so it's still the same thing. So what's the cube root of 64? Let me just do that on my calculator. Is it 4? Yep, the answer is 4. So we'll have 4. That is 64 power 1/3 is 4. And m power 1/3, if you open that bracket, the powers multiply. So 3 times 1/3 is just 1, okay? You can type it in your calculator if you're not sure about it. So it will just be m power 1, which is just m, okay? Now, remember this math look like this. 1 divided by 4/m. That's another way of putting it. So you know that when you're dividing fractions, you can actually change the division sign to multiplication and then do the reciprocal of the second fraction. Okay, so this means we can actually write this as 1 times m over 4. That means the answer is just m over 4. Okay, so that's it, guys. It was a very quick look into indices, and I hope this can help you solve problems related to indices. And remember to subscribe to my channel, and thank you for choosing this channel for your math problems.
Audio Jungle.